let's take our next call. We have Priscilla from Azusa. Priscilla, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
It's a story to tell.
Go for it.
So this is pretty much a breakdown. This all started about 4 years ago. I've been fighting, and I got my kids back 3 times. Did everything. My 15-year-old daughter twice has gotten my kids removed. The judge said that the first time she got them detained because of the social workers, and her telling the social workers one thing and then telling the judge something else because the judge caught her in a lie. He said, okay, well, we'll further investigate. So we continued to investigate. I've had 3 different court-appointed attorneys. And each time they fight because they see what it is and they can see that my daughter's been lying. I have 8 kids in the system. 3 of them are with my brother. And even though they're with family, doesn't necessarily mean that's the best because I haven't seen my babies since my birthday on March 9th. And I've talked to them about 4 times since. I've been mandated to have visits every week. I haven't been able to do that either. Social workers aren't fighting for me to get my visits. I let the judge know, and it's heartbreaking when you go into a courtroom and they're telling you that you don't have a child-mother bond with your children. I have a total of 10 kids. Each one of my kids I hold very dear to me, even my 15-year-old. And this last time, she at first told them that I came home and I started drinking and that I got in an argument with her and her brother and I threw them out. Mind you, for 1.5 years, when that whole COVID hit, I had my daughter in my care because she was running away and running away and running away. Nobody could get her to stay in one spot. So they said, okay, well, Destiny, what do you want to do? And she said, I want to go home with my mom. So she came home with me. For 1.5 years, I had her by myself. I had my other 2 children start to come home with me. And she started acting out again, running away, that kind of thing, all of the above. In custody with DCFS, my child was raped, and she also was molested. So when my kids are coming to me and they're crying and I'm fighting, I fought for her tooth and nail. But how are you supposed to tell the social workers to protect the 2 children that came home with you? This other one is getting too out of hand and you have to be removed, because every time I try to say something, they would make me feel like if I was doing something wrong by letting them know that my daughter wasn't she wasn't okay. She wasn't okay in the head. She was arguing. She was lying a lot. I had her therapist disclose to me that there is something wrong with her. There's a chemical imbalance, and she does tend to do that a lot. And he's able to notice it, and he's able to stop it before it's happening. I said, well, why can you understand that, but a social worker can't? And it just feels like the social workers, out of all my kids, she's the only one saying that this is what happened this last time. And then all of my other kids, that the DCFS is saying that, oh, well, they're just protecting you. I said, okay, so when she said that she was raped and molested in these homes, you guys all said because she was in your guys' care, she was lying. But now that it's going negative against me, now she's telling the truth. It's just heartbreaking because now my 14-year-old ran away. And it's hard every night because you don't know where your little girl is. I've gone through so much. I fought so hard. I did all my classes, did everything they wanted me to do, and then some. I even started dual testing because for a while I was drug testing for them and I would come up dirty, but yet when I would dual drug test, I would come out clean. This last time, I agreed to drug test. I went and I took a drug test because of the incident and the argument that had happened in my house. I let them know. I said, you know what? I ate an edible, a marijuana edible. My drug test came out with full only methamphetamine in my system. No THC, no nothing at all whatsoever. When I told that to my daughters, I deal with 3 different social workers because of my kids. Her social worker said, that's fine, but that's not what's coming up. It's methamphetamine. I said, but that's not what it was. I said, okay, the last time you guys told me I drug tested dirty, it was blood alcohol level, really high. I went in that day to have my youngest son, which he's 3, and, came out clean from the hospital because they do the blood one. So when we went to court and they were bad-mouthing me and putting me down and everything under the sun, I handed it to my lawyer, and my lawyer went and gave it to the judge, and the judge turned and looked, and it was like if it was just brushed under the rug, because they made a mistake. It was okay, so they just stopped talking about it. And then after that, slowly but surely, I started getting more and more and more, but it's hard because you work so hard for something, and when the baby's in for help, they don't want to help, or, my attorney argued. He argued. I mean, I give him that. This time they did argue for me. But now I have lost parental rights over my 3 youngest. My daughter did this the week before her portion of the case was going to get closed. That Monday or Tuesday, this happened on a Friday. Monday or Tuesday, we were going to have a court, and she did this. Me and her and my oldest son did this on those days. That that took a whole 3 days in my whole life, and my kids were changed. I lost parental of my 3 youngest. I didn't even know we had court coming up in October 1st. That's for the guardianship to my brother, which I had no idea about at all. Then it went from that to the 2, Randy and Nadine, who's 11 and she's 14. They stayed home with me after Bethany and Nick had left my house because I had Nick, my oldest son, removed by the police department. I was told by DCFS, the investigator that had come out, that they were going to go take my 15-year-old away from my 21-year-old, and that didn't happen. They told a whole nother story. She got to stay there. Mind you, there's pictures of her on Instagram smoking marijuana with my son, all of these things, getting tattoos, and there's nothing supposedly that they can do about that. They don't know when it was done, and whatever. It's every excuse in the book. I just want to know, is there any possible or anything anybody could, any answer? Because I feel like losing everything. And I had my kids for 2.5 weeks before they even came and took them from me. Randy and Nadine, my 14-year-old and my 11-year-old, were in my custody. And it took them 2.5 weeks to even come and take them after this supposed dirty drug test. And they did it on my 18-year-old's graduation day. And when I told her I could, they at least go eat dinner with their brother? And I was told that they couldn't, and they had to leave with her. This woman wrote on the report that I what did she say? That I allowed I told my kids to run away from her. I said, why would I say that to my children? Like, I read the report, and they always paint me so awful and ugly. And I tell them straight out, if I was the person that you guys have me on paper, oh my goodness, I've gone through many, many social workers. The 2 men social workers that I actually did get, they're the ones that gave me my kids back after all these years. And to the point where I would cry every day because, I don't know what else to do. And they helped me. They argued with me, and then they got taken off my case. Now, once again, I have another social worker where I ask her questions, and she can't give me answers, or she gives me half answers. And, well, you need to talk to your attorney. So then when I call my attorney, either he doesn't call me back or whatever. Now, my daughter, was supposed to go with family, either my dad or her grandmother from her dad, and she has now decided to take matters in her own hands because the person that she was given to.
Hey, Priscilla, hold on a second. Hold on a second, because I'm telling I have to take a break. This is what I want you to do. I want you to call me at my office tomorrow. I want to talk to you, see if I can help you. 888-888-6582. 888-888-6582. I want you to call. We'll talk. And also, call back in 3 or 4 weeks and give us an update on how things are going in the case. Okay, thank you, Patricia, for calling and listening. This is The Secret, How to Fight CPS and Win. We'll be back right after these messages.